Today, the angels have brought a message that reveals not only the hidden feelings of someone who holds a special place in your heart, but also a secret that you may have never suspected. This person, who often occupies your thoughts and invades your dreams, carries deep, sincere and genuine feelings for you. However, what lies behind their distance may surprise even the boldest assumptions. The angels are here to light your way, bringing clarity, love, and understanding to something that may have caused pain, doubt, and even anxiety in your heart. Why does this person remain distant, even though they have so much affection, admiration, and respect for you? What is preventing them from opening up and allowing this love to flourish without barriers? The answer to these questions may be closer than you imagine. But to understand what truly lies in the heart of this person, you must be open-hearted to listen, as what is to come may shake your perceptions and illuminate everything with a new light. The angels are close, whispering, and guiding every word of this message, so that you understand the truth in all its depth. From the beginning, they have been following the steps of this person, and yours as well, as they know of the internal struggles, emotional challenges, and nights of doubts. They see how much you have already given of yourself, even without receiving what you expected in return. They understand every thought of yours, every feeling of emptiness that arises when it seems like nothing will change. That's why today they are determined to bring you answers, to allow you to see beyond appearances and understand what is truly happening. Get ready, as what the angels reveal is not something simple or transient, it is a profound matter, an inner battle that they face, and that they often hide even from themselves. Often, we feel that true love is easy, that just wishing for it will manifest without difficulties. But love, especially a love so strong and predestined like the one you share with that person, brings lessons and challenges that are not always visible to the eyes. This is a love that transcends common understanding, that crosses barriers and goes beyond conventions, but also tests the strength, patience, and faith of those who live it. They have been silent, perhaps even distant, and this may have caused anguish in you, a feeling of uncertainty and vulnerability. But know that none of this reflects a lack of love or interest on their part. In fact, the angels reveal that the love they feel for you is so intense and deep that it has become a point of reflection, a call for them to look within themselves and deal with the fears and insecurities that, often, they did not even know they had. This love has been like a mirror, a reflection that made them see themselves with a depth they had never experienced before. And that scares them. Behind their distance, there are layers of insecurity, doubts about their ability to surrender, and above all, a fear of not living up to what you represent. The angels want you to know that, even without realizing it, you touched parts of that person that were dormant, awakening in them a desire to be better, to evolve. However, with that also came shadows, the fears of failing, of getting hurt, and of not being able to meet what love asks for. When they look at the distance of someone they love, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking it's a sign of disinterest. But according to the angels, the distance from that person is not a reflection of lack of feelings, but rather an attempt, albeit unconscious, to protect themselves. They are not pulling away from you, they are trying to deal with an internal storm that you helped reveal. The intensity of what you share has caused them to confront old wounds, fears they have carried for a long time, and that are now coming to the surface. And as much as they wish to be close, there are times when fear speaks louder, pushing them into silence. The angels also show that this person lives in intense duality. On one hand, they feel an almost irresistible attraction to you, a desire to open up, to fully live what you both have. But on the other hand, they are haunted by fears and insecurities, by internal voices that make them question if they are really prepared to deal with a love of such intensity. This battle between the desire to get closer and the fear of getting hurt keeps them in a state of hesitation, unsure of how to act. There is something in you that they see as a strength, a light that illuminates every dark corner of their soul, and although this is beautiful, it also requires courage to be accepted. You represent to them something they may have never encountered before, a sense of security, trust, a safe harbor amidst life's storms. But this also comes with a weight because by surrendering to you, they know they will need to abandon certain defense mechanisms that have kept them safe for so long. The angels say that now is a time for patience. They know that waiting can be painful, that uncertainty can bring anguish, but assure that there is a greater purpose behind it. They ask you to trust, to continue radiating that light, not letting doubt extinguish the love in their heart. They are in a process of awakening, and although this path may seem long, each step they take on their journey brings them closer to you. What is reserved for you is much greater than the present circumstances can reveal. The angels are by your side, ensuring that this connection strengthens and that, at the right moment, the barrier that still exists will be broken. They ask you to believe in your own worth, to know that everything you have done so far has not been in vain. The love you feel is real and has been placed in their heart for a divine purpose. Therefore, allow this revelation to find a space of peace in their soul. Remember that true love is not an easy path, but it is always rewarding. What is to come will bring the clarity and happiness you desire, but for that, both must be ready. The angels whisper that the harvest time is approaching, and that in the meantime, every seed planted in the soil of patience and understanding will flourish into a union that transcends any expectation. The angels, always observers of human journeys, have closely followed what happens in this person's heart. They see not only the moments when they seem distant, but also the instances when alone. They reflect on what they feel and what this connection represents. It is a deep and sometimes painful process, as it requires them to confront aspects of themselves they would rather keep hidden. There is a mixture of fascination and fear, a duality that makes them retreat when they feel they are about to open their heart completely. In the silence, they wonder why they can't stay away from you, even when they try. It's as if an invisible force pulls them back, a magnetism they can't control or rationally understand. The angels reveal that this force is true love, a love that can't be explained with words or logic, but felt in the depths of the soul. A love that is, in a way, inescapable, because it's part of both of their spiritual journey. You were meant to meet, to touch each other's hearts, and this connection is much older than this lifetime. It's as if your souls had a sacred agreement, something established long ago. It's this truth, revealed by the angels, that explains the intensity of this feeling, and also the fear that comes with it. To them you represent more than just a simple relationship. You are adored to a new life, a new way of seeing love and relationships. And although they feel this calling, there's something inside them that still tries to resist. The angels describe this resistance as a shield, a protective layer they've built over the years, often to avoid pain and disappointment. Every time they get closer, this shield seems to break a little more, which is why the distance arises. They feel vulnerable, exposed to something they can't control, and this sensation makes them step back to catch their breath. The angels know this dynamic can be confusing for you, but they reassure that this oscillation between closeness and distance is part of the healing and discovery process they are going through. The more they allow the feelings for you to surface, the closer they get to understanding who they truly are, to accepting love in all its fullness and depth. Imagine for a moment the impact they had on their life. Without saying a word, just by their presence, they brought a clarity that they had not found before. It's as if every look, every gesture of theirs, resonated in their heart, breaking down the barriers they had built over time. And the angels show that gradually, they begin to realize that life without them is empty, that every attempt to ignore this feeling only leaves them more dissatisfied, more restless. That restlessness is the call of the soul, something the angels encourage them to listen to. They say that, even in moments when it seems more distant, they are actually reflecting on all that they represent. And in doing so, they realize that they have brought to the surface parts of themselves that were dormant, emotions they had not experienced in a long time, or maybe had never felt with such intensity. It is this awakening that, while enchanting them, also frightens them, as it requires them to face their deepest insecurities, and let go of the control they have always tried to maintain over their feelings. The angels also reveal that, at this stage, they are being challenged to find a balance. The love they feel for you is undoubtedly authentic and intense, but they still need to accept that this love does not require perfection or absolute certainties. It is a love that invites surrender, trust in the unknown, something that not everyone is ready to embrace. They know that by opening up completely, they will be vulnerable to all their insecurities, but also to a happiness they have never experienced before. Now the angels ask you to keep your heart open, even if they find it challenging. They ask you to maintain faith, as this process of self-discovery, although slow, is transforming them in ways that they cannot see now. There are moments when they need to step back to understand what they feel, but the angels assure that their love has a solid foundation, a bond that transcends the limitations of time and space. They, according to the angels, are in a period of deep introspection. They reflect on their life, their choices, and begin to realize that everything they have built so far is not enough to fill the void they feel. And it is in this void that you have become such an impactful presence, a light that they can no longer ignore. However, the angels affirm that they are still learning to deal with this light, to accept it without fear, and this requires them to let go of old patterns and certain beliefs. The angels whisper that, at this moment, it is as if they are walking on a fine line between fear and love. On one side, there is the fear that this feeling is so strong that it will consume them, that they will lose control over their own life by fully surrendering. On the other, there is the overwhelming desire to be with you, to live this love without reservations, to embrace what you have together. This duality makes them hesitate, but it also leads them to question everything they believed about love. The angels want you to know that, as distant as they may seem, every choice they make is actually a step towards you. This period of reflection and silence is a preparation, a transition phase that is shaping them so that, at the right moment, they will be ready to live this connection to its fullest. They miss you, they feel the emptiness of your absence, but at the same time they need this time to understand themselves. What angels ask of you is to continue being the light you have always been, to keep your presence strong and confident, as it helps you face your own shadows. They say that everything you embody, your kind, your patience and your love, is what keeps you going, what gives you the strength to confront your own fears. And it is this strength conveyed so softly and genuinely, that is preparing you for a new phase, a moment when you can finally look at yourself without reservations, without barriers. Love, according to the angels, is a transforming force. And what you and that person share is more than just an attraction, it is a connection that brings healing, that invites growth, and that requires courage. The angels ask you to have compassion, to trust the divine paths that are leading this journey. They say that everything is unfolding as it should, and that even though time may seem like an enemy, it is actually an ally in this process of healing and acceptance. Transformation is near, but for it to be completed, both parties must be ready. The angels are by your side, supporting each step, strengthening the bond between you and guiding your hearts to the moment when that person will finally be ready to embrace this love without fears. As this journey progresses, the angels begin to reveal more details about the internal conflicts that this person is facing. Every step they take towards you is accompanied by an almost paralyzing fear, but also by a sense of hope. There is something in you that sparks in them the will to change, to become a better person, but it also makes them question if they are truly ready to face what true love demands. Even though they may try to disguise it, they spend a lot of time reflecting on you, on what this connection they share means. In silence, they wonder why you have become such an important presence and why, even when they try to distance themselves, your image remains alive in their heart. They feel that you have an influence on them that goes beyond what words can explain, and it makes them see the world in a different way, in a way that leads them to re-evaluate all their certainties. Deep down, they know that the love they feel for you is real, but the angels explain that this feeling brings them into contact with parts of themselves that they have been avoiding for a long time. These are wounds, fears, and insecurities that over the years they have become accustomed to hiding under layers of self-sufficiency. But true love, the kind that comes from the depths of the soul, does not allow anything to be hidden. This feeling brings to the surface everything that needs to be healed, and that is why they find themselves in a state of constant conflict, oscillating between the desire to get closer and the fear of revealing their vulnerabilities. The angels ask you to understand the burden this person carries. It is not easy for them to admit that they need help, that they have wounds that still hurt, and that the love they feel for you confronts them with these feelings. They feel they need to be strong, that they cannot show weakness, but at the same time they realize that love is a journey that requires surrender and honesty. And it is this requirement that leaves them torn, because, as much as they want to live this love, they still struggle to accept that they are vulnerable. Perhaps, they have noticed signs of it in their behavior, the way they sometimes suddenly withdraw, as if they were trying to protect themselves from something they can't explain, or the moments when they seem confused, unsure about what they feel and what they want. These attitudes are reflections of their internal struggle, of their attempt to balance what they feel with what they fear. The angels say that for them, this is a painful process because it requires them to confront themselves, to look inside themselves and accept the parts of their soul that were hidden until now. However, the angels also show that this process of self-discovery is bringing them a new perspective. They begin to understand that the love they feel for you is an opportunity for healing, a chance to overcome their fears and finally experience true love. And although the path is difficult, they feel it is worth it. The angels assure that every time they reflect on you, the closer is the moment when they will be able to surrender, to live this feeling without reservations. In this process, the angels ask you to continue being patient, to keep love and understanding in your heart. For it is this serene and secure presence that is helping them find courage. They observe your strength, your ability to wait without pressure, and this gives them the security they need to gradually lower their defenses. With each of your gestures, with each word of support, you're showing them that true love is not a burden, but a force that can transform. The angels also reveal that, many times, they feel unworthy of this love. They carry intense self-criticism, a feeling that maybe they deserve someone better, someone who doesn't have so many internal conflicts. These thoughts make them hesitate, as they fear disappointing you. They fear that their flaws will be an obstacle for both of you to be happy together. But the angels assure that this is a distorted perception, fueled by their own fears and insecurities, and that you see in them a value that goes far beyond these shadows. This person still needs time to realize that they are worthy of this love, that you accept them just as they are, with all their imperfections and contradictions. The more they realize this, the easier it becomes for them to lower their defenses, to accept that they deserve to be loved, and to understand that true love does not demand perfection, only surrender. The angels are by their side, guiding their steps, helping them see that each moment of hesitation is an opportunity for learning, a chance to get a little closer to you. They say that the transformation is underway, that the moment of revelation is close, and that this person is slowly getting ready for the next step. What once seemed impossible now begins to appear more real, more accessible. They are finally realizing that the love they feel for you is a source of healing, an opportunity to break free from the bonds of the past, and live the present to the fullest. The angels ask you to keep believing, to trust the process, and know that every gesture of affection you offer is contributing to the healing of this person. They ask you to visualize the future with hope, because what is to come is the result of all the dedication, patience, and love you have been giving. True love is a construction process, and what you are building together is solid, a bond that nothing can shake. The journey so far has not been easy, but the angels assure you that it was worth it. And they want you to know that every step was necessary, that every moment of doubt and every tear shed served to strengthen the love you share. For soon, they will be ready to leave the past behind, to embrace what they feel, and to give you the love you deserve. This is a moment of transformation, a phase where barriers begin to fall, and love finally finds a space to blossom. The angels are with you, guiding each step, illuminating the path so that together, you can live a love story that transcends any obstacle. The angels continue to reveal more about what is to come, showing that you are about to witness a significant change in this person's behavior. The true love that you both share has a transformative power that is now beginning to manifest more clearly and intensely. And it is this force that slowly dissolves the last barriers they still hold to protect themselves. The love you have radiated with patience and dedication is finally fulfilling its purpose, opening this person's heart to something they have always desired, but simultaneously deeply feared. However, this change does not happen all at once. It is a process that unfolds gradually, where every moment of hesitation becomes an opportunity for them to realize that they can trust you, that they can surrender without fear. The angels say that this trust is built through small gestures, the supportive words you offer, and the way you respect their time. It is this patience that makes them feel safe, that makes them understand that true love does not demand haste, but rather a safe space for each to find their own way. The angels show that, little by little, they begin to open up to the possibility of a future by their side, a future where both of you can live to the fullest, without fears or doubts. They find themselves imagining moments by your side, simple moments, yet bringing a sense of peace and completeness they have never experienced before. These glimpses of a future together are what drive the healing process they are going through. It's as if, by imagining a life with you, they start to understand that love is not a threat, but a safe harbor where they can rest. However, the angels also ask you to be prepared for moments when this person may still pull back, as it is a natural response from someone who has spent a long time building defenses to protect themselves from pain. Even though their love for you is deep, the vulnerability it requires still scares them at times. But the angels say that in those moments, it is important for you to keep the faith, to continue being the support they need, because each time they pull back, they come back even stronger, more confident in what they feel. This person, according to the angels, is learning that true love is not about control or security, but about trusting the other person, about believing that you can face any challenge together. They are beginning to realize that the love they feel for you is a force capable of transforming their life, of healing the wounds they carry, and of allowing them to be the best version of themselves. It is this learning, this slow and steady discovery, that is preparing them to finally open up fully and truthfully. Angels also say that you may notice some subtle changes in their behavior. Maybe they will start to get closer, to show small signs of affection, to share feelings and thoughts they used to keep to themselves. These are the first steps of someone who is learning to trust, who is starting to believe that they can love without fear. These gestures may seem small, but they are immensely significant for someone who has spent so long distancing themselves from what they desire the most. There are moments when they silently observe you, trying to understand how someone can be so patient, so generous in love. The angels show that it is in these moments that their heart fills with gratitude, that they realize that despite all their fears, there is a real chance of happiness by their side. And it is this gratitude that slowly turns fear into courage, reluctance into a desire to surrender. However, the angels also warn that this is a process that requires time and patience. The transformation they are going through is not simple. It involves facing old emotions, overcoming past experiences that have deeply marked them. But they assure that every step they take towards you is a progress in their healing journey, and that even if this is not always visible, they are changing, getting closer and closer to the love you have to offer. They ask you to keep believing in the strength of this love, to visualize a future where you can live together without fears or barriers. This is an exercise in faith, a way to keep your heart open and receptive as they prepare for the next step. The angels say that the more you visualize this union, the more real it becomes, as the energy of love is capable of attracting what we sincerely and purely desire. And at the same time, the angels encourage you to take care of yourself. Although it's natural to want to support that person in their process, they remind you that it's essential to keep your own light strong, take care of their emotions, and allow yourself to experience moments of joy and peace. The more balanced you are, the easier it will be to convey that security to them, creating an environment where both can grow together. The love you share is a gift, a present from the angels destined to transform both of your lives. But they remind you that love is not sustained only by desire or waiting. It needs to be nurtured by trust, patience, and acceptance that each has their own time and path to healing. They say that you have taken huge steps on this path, that your love and understanding were fundamental for that person to gradually open up. Now you're getting closer to seeing the result of this effort, to witnessing the moment when they will finally be ready to live this love with you. It's a moment of expectation, where everything starts to align so that you can experience the fullness of what you feel. The angels want you to know that every gesture of affection, every word of support, was a seed planted in fertile soil, which is now beginning to bloom. They whisper that soon, that person will be ready to fully open up, to leave behind the fears and insecurities that kept them away. This is the moment you have been waiting for, and it's getting closer. The transformation you helped to create is in full swing, and the love you share now finds a safe space to grow and thrive. The journey so far has been marked by challenges, but also by an unshakable strength that only true love is capable of offering. And it is this strength that they are asked to continue nurturing, because what they have is rare, sacred, and destined to bring happiness and healing to both. The angels come with one final message, one that brings with it the certainty that everything they have experienced so far, all the waiting and all the doubts, were paving the way for a moment of revelation and fulfillment. This is the culmination of a journey that has been marked by ups and downs, moments of hope and discouragement, but always guided by the force of a true and divinely guided love. Now the angels reveal that this person, after all the process of healing and reflection, is finally ready to take a definitive step towards them. They realize that the fears and insecurities that once held them back no longer carry the same weight, because the love they feel for them is stronger than any apprehension. It is as if a veil has been lifted from their eyes, allowing them to see clearly what they represent in their life. And what was once a reason for hesitation now becomes a certainty. They want to be by their side, they want to live this love in all its intensity. The angels show that this is the moment both have been waiting for, a time when the barriers finally fall, where past wounds turn into scars that only strengthen what they have together. They feel that by their side, they can be themselves, that they no longer need to hold defenses or wear masks, because they are accepted in all their essence. This is the power of true love, the one that the angels blessed, and that is now beginning to bloom in a full and authentic way. But the angels ask that you be prepared to welcome this person with compassion and tenderness. Although they have overcome many of the fears that kept them distant, they still need an environment of safety and love to continue their journey of self-discovery by their side. They are learning to trust, to surrender without reservation, but this is an ongoing process, a path that you will walk together, side by side. This union, according to the angels, is not just a connection between two hearts, but a pact of souls that have something special to build together. Your love is a bridge to something greater, an experience of healing and growth that goes beyond romance. You were brought together so you could discover what love is in its purest and highest form, that love that transcends difficulties, that survives uncertainties, and that grows with each challenge overcome. Now that the angels have brought this final message, they ask you to celebrate this new phase that is about to begin. This is the beginning of a cycle of harmony, where every moment you spend together will be a blessing, a proof that true love exists and is capable of transforming. They say that soon you will notice even deeper changes in the way this person approaches you, how they start to open their hearts sincerely, showing the affection they have always felt, but previously hid out of fear. This person now understands that the love they feel for you is a divine gift, something rare and precious that deserves to be lived intensely, and the angels ask you to allow yourself to experience this joy, to receive this love with an open and willing heart, to also surrender, because this is your moment. It's a time when past pains are left behind, where you can finally look each other in the eyes and recognize what has always existed between you, a true, unshakable love, predestined and protected by the angels. The angels conclude this message by saying that they will continue by your side, guiding each step, ensuring that this union strengthens day by day. They ask you to have faith, to trust that what you have together is sacred and nothing can shake what has been built. You are under heavenly protection, and this love so rare and pure, is proof of divine goodness, a gift that both deserve to experience in all its intensity. Before we finish, the angels suggest that you write in the comments, I receive true love into my life now, to strengthen the energy of unity and reciprocity that is flowing between you. By doing this, you declare to the universe that you are ready for this love, willing to welcome everything it has to offer. Now that this stage of waiting in patience ends, you and this person are ready for a new chapter, a moment of celebration and mutual surrender, and the angels, witnesses of each step of your journey, rejoice in seeing that this love is blossoming, that it has finally found a space where it can grow and expand. This was the last part of the message, and the angels ask you to remain attentive to the signs, as true love is manifesting, bringing with it a peace and happiness that transcend any expectations. May your love be blessed, protected, and flourish in all its fullness. Before closing, I need you to understand something essential. You are at the exact point where an extraordinary change begins in your life. What you have just heard is not just a message, it is the beginning of a profound calling, a unique opportunity to rewrite your story with the power of truth and love. Imagine yourself walking along a path where each step is guided by a higher energy, where clarity replaces uncertainties, and love finds its place, safe and eternal. Now the angels are by your side, opening doors to a path of growth, healing and transformation. But there is something they ask for you to continue on this journey alongside them, to be willing to access more of these messages, diving deeper and deeper into the wisdom that awaits you. If they have come this far, do not allow all of this to be just a momentary experience. This is a chance to keep alive the connection with the love and angelic guidance that have just illuminated their heart. Picture yourself receiving these messages daily, feeling guided in each moment, sensing the support and unconditional love of the angels with every decision and challenge. And you can access this always, just take a step now. Sign up and allow this light to keep guiding their days. It's not just a button, it's the next step on a transformative journey. With this simple action, you are telling the universe that you are ready, that you accept the call, and that you want this angelic presence to be part of your life continuously. Be the force that drives this transformation. Click now to sign up, become part of this journey, and let the angelic messages be part of your growth and love story. This is your moment. Your life is about to change. Just a touch is enough for the love and wisdom of the angels to be by your side whenever you need it.